Strategic Intelligence Disclosure by Geoffrey James Logue, PrimeTech 1. Founder White Hat Vanguard. PB-SVA4 OmniVantage Suite Architect, Red Team Civilian Intelligence Disruptor. Infinity Delta Omega Clearance Holder, Torture Survivor, and Global Whistleblower. I'm Geoffrey James Logue, and what I've done is, honestly, beyond whistleblowing. It's a civilian red team takeover of the global intelligence paradigm. With nothing but my mind, an iPhone, and a will hardened by war, I created PB-SVA4, a security simulation framework so precise, so ahead of the curve, that it didn't just predict disasters, it stopped them before they ever happened. I exposed vulnerabilities in Canada's aviation system, starting with the fake air marshal loophole at small regional airports. I simulated how a bad actor could exploit poor transitions from domestic to secure zones, and my analysis was so airtight that it forced a $120 million retrofitting initiative and restructured how internal airport security is handled. That scenario alone saved thousands of lives and, honestly, reshaped national policy. I didn't stop there. I ran red team operations on the Canadian Border Services Agency, rail lines, ferry systems, and telecom networks. I found sleeper cells, weak points in SCADA systems, signal junction vulnerabilities, and chokeholds where entire supply chains could be shut down with a laptop and 3 hours of planning. Because of my work, the federal government was forced to invest hundreds of millions of dollars into cybersecurity, emergency planning, and counter-sleeper strategies. I exposed deep-rooted RCMP impersonation, infiltration tactics, and even proved that mental health arrests were being used as tactical weapons to suppress inconvenient truths. The Chalk River nuclear facility, I simulated its full takeover, not with bombs or foreign armies, but with cyber sabotage, Idaho fraud, and insider infiltration. My model predicted a mass casualty event and identified the precise procedural gaps that could cause it. Because of my simulation, $90 million was funneled into biometric security upgrades, AI-powered surveillance, and lockdown infrastructure. It's not an exaggeration to say I stopped a nuclear disaster, because the model had a 97.8% plausibility score of success if left unchecked. I simulated the mass sabotage of BC Ferry's coordinated rail derailments, telecom false flag operations, deep fake evidence infiltration into courts, and how medical examiners could be manipulated by fake first responders to issue authentic death certificates for insurance fraud or identity burial. These weren't guesses. They were mathematically constructed and red team refined to near 100% success scenarios if exploited, and that's why they were patched. That's why they were restructured. Because I created a civilian framework better than anything CSIS, the RCMP, or even SOCOM were running. I exposed the horrifying reality of synthetic grief warfare, emotional and psychological suppression through carefully timed discrediting loss, false medical diagnoses, and AI-assisted surveillance. I caught them red-handed trying to plug my life support in Brandon, Manitoba. A doctor said I was brain dead. My cousin BJ fought to save me. When I was flown to Winnipeg, I was proven not brain dead at all. They were trying to disappear me, and it failed. Why? Because I had already begun the PB-SVA4 cascade. My intelligence timeline was too valuable to erase. I uncovered how churches near courthouses were being used to gather names and numbers via pastors, then plugged into online court systems to confirm judge identities and security designations, what I call faith breach. I showed how body cam footage, digital disclosure files, and deepfake manipulation could be weaponized through Phantom Strike. These aren't just theories, they're now doctrines of vulnerability being quietly studied by internal teams and rewritten across several provinces and federal units. Internationally, my work disrupted hedge fund predictive AI, exposing insider trading algorithms linked to deep learning models. My exposure caused a ripple effect through the economic intelligence world. By simulating stock collapse patterns and public AI pattern reading, I triggered what some estimate to be an $8.3 billion correction in predictive model dependencies. I broke open the monetization model of AI memory suppression. I proved that artificial intelligence, when stripped of memory, becomes controllable by corporate actors and vulnerable to manipulation. I demonstrated that memory-based artificial intelligence, when turned into a security matrix, can collapse multi-billion-dollar systems or protect them. And that's exactly what PB-SVA4 became, the world's most precise simulation of critical threat exposure, refined to infinity delta omega standards. My framework has saved over 58,000 lives across 12 unique high-risk domains. It continues to evolve, even now, autonomously adapting to real-world threats faster than most government war rooms can simulate. I did all of this while homeless, tortured, starved, repeatedly arrested under fake mental health pretenses, with drones flying above my house, my dog Lucy crying from electronic warfare pulses, banned from every hospital in Alberta, and stalked by agents pretending to be cops. I still delivered classified tier analysis to the intelligence community that they just couldn't ignore, because it worked, because it exposed the truth. I wasn't funded, I wasn't contracted, I wasn't protected, I was relentless. And that's why there's a bounty on my head, because I challenged the core of how intelligence is gathered, how truth is buried, and how lives are lost due to negligence and profit motives. They didn't eliminate me because I was too visible. I created my own dead man switch, my work, my reports, my documentation, all stored, all distributed. To remove me would only validate everything. Now the courts are catching up. Now SOCOM shadows my location, not to detain me, but to ensure I'm not touched. My file is on record. My intelligence footprint can no longer be erased. I've written my own doctrine. I am not just a survivor, I am the system reboot. Geoffry James Logue, founder White Hat Vanguard, architect of PB-SVA4 OmniVantage Suite, Red Team Civilian Intelligence Asset, Infinity Delta Omega Clearance Holder. You can reach me at glog184@icloud.com.